I love talking about art supplies. To wrap up my gift giving series that I have done this Vlogmas, I did a plannering video and a lettering video. Today I thought I would bring up some ideas that make great gifts for people who are into art. A disclaimer on this would be that art supplies are personal, and if you're buying for someone who has established themselves as someone who's really into art, chances are they have ideas on what they want. I would almost consider this video an idea for those of you who want to do some fun art stuff but don't know kind of where to start or what to ask for if people are going to be buying you something and you want them to spend a little bit of money. It might even be the best way to look at this rather than gifts for your friends who are artists. It's gifts for you as an artist, but it could go either way. The first thing I wanted to add onto this list are alcohol markers. Whoops. Alcohol markers. And the reason I say alcohol markers is because generally speaking, they are pricey. Like the most well-known alcohol marker are the Copic Sketch. These puppies will run you like $60 or something for a pack of like 6 of them. They're expensive. These are expensive markers. They're worth it. They're amazing markers and they blend out beautifully. And they have a brush tip and a bullet tip, and they're great. And they have their slightly less expensive cousin, the Copic Ciao, which is the same ink, same tips, but there's less ink in them, and they aren't that nice shape. So these are a little bit less expensive. And then you have the Spectrum Noir markers, which are cheaper than both of those combined, but they don't have the brush tip. But they all blend together nicely, and you can get sets of these online at Amazon, Dick Blick. You're going to be spending a lot of money on the Copics. You could spend less on the Spectrum Noir. But if somebody has some, like I know some people who are like completionists and want to have like the whole Copic line or whatever. Yeah, me when I'm a millionaire one day. I found that they blend beautifully together regardless of which ones you're using. So to me, as long as I have colors, I'm cool. If somebody has been wanting to get into alcohol markers, but they can't afford to drop, some change on a starter set of some of these, that could be something to look into. But like I said, they're pricey. If you want Copics or some other alcohol marker for Christmas, my suggestion would be is if people want to buy you something, find out the set that has the colors that will work for you. When you like to draw, what you like to color, what colors you need, because there's different sets. You could buy them in a pack or you can buy them individually, but if you want to look at the different sets, figure out what set will go the farthest with what you want to do, and then ask for that specific set. Like include links. Trust me on this. I feel like alcohol markers are a great gift option because they are expensive and it takes a lot of like scones to want to drop this much money on yourself very often. Also did a review of some markers and they're included in it, those 3, and I will link that up above. There's Prismacolor markers as well, which I love, but I don't have any of those right now. You know, I've promised a colored pencil review video reviewing the gamut of expensive to cheap colored pencils and blah. So I've been testing them, and I really, really love, if you want a nice, expensive colored pencils gift, there's a bunch of different brands you could look at. You could look at Prismacolor, you could look at Derwent, but I found that these Faber Castell Polychromos color pencils are amazing. They blend really beautifully. They're soft, but not so soft that they're breakable. The colors are super vibrant. This is like what you get in this. This is the 36 count pencil set, and it runs you at $60 if you're going on Amazon. It's pretty, like in this flat tin. It just makes a really nice presentation. Like I said, the review is coming, I promise. I've just been having to test them all to really get a decent impression of them, but I've done some work with these recently and really liked them. They're beautiful, and they would make a very stunning gift, especially if you like threw in some adult coloring books or something like that. As for paints, I'm not like, my acrylic paint collection is mostly just the little tubes you get from Michael's. I don't have any like nice ones right now, and I haven't been doing the painting. I've been doing the most with expensive painting and nice paints is watercoloring. And when it comes to watercolors, you can get tube watercolors, you can get pan watercolors. Tubes are the pigment in the tubes, pan are the ones that are, dried in the pan, and you add water to those. I like pan better than tube. That's just my personal preference. And the pan watercolors that I love the most, Gansai Tambi watercolors from Kuretake Zig. And it's the one I have is the 36 count palette. It's the big palette. That's what it looks like. Pans are actually removable. Let me see if I can do this without breaking anything. The pans are actually removable, so you can take them out and use them individually. And I don't know if they've done it or not because I haven't looked into it, but I remember talking to somebody from Kuretake, and they said that they were thinking about doing a palette where you could take just a few of these and take them on the go. And that would be really awesome. This is about 36, 40 bucks if you get it on Amazon. They're beautiful. They are so vibrant and gorgeous. I love them very, very, very much. And they are my favorite colors to paints to watercolor with. And like the Faber Castell, this makes a beautiful presentation. It's just such a nice set. I love it so much. And one of the things with gifts is that like it's not just about a beautiful, like a gift that's useful, but a gift that presents lovely. And this is absolutely one of those. For watercoloring on the go, I have this set. I can't find it, so I'll just put a picture of it up here. It's the Koi watercolor like sketch set. It's got a palette, a mixing palette, and several colors depending on what size you get, and a water brush, and it's all in like a thing that seals tight, and you can take it with you on the go. And it's great because it's so compact. The pigments are great. And it comes with the water brush. And if you don't know what a water brush is, I've got one. This is one of my water brushes. It fills with a well of water, and then it has like a brush tip, and you can use it to watercolor without having a cup of water. You work in the palette with the water brush, and then you just run it on some paper towels to get the color off of it, and you keep going. And it's awesome for on-the-go watercoloring. You can add on to it one of my favorite watercolor books for traveling, which is a Moleskine. It's the size of like a regular Moleskine, but it goes sideways, like the binding is on this end, so that you can open it like this. And it's got really nice watercolor paper inside so that you can use it for like just practicing like on the go. And with a nice little sketch watercolor set and a water brush, it's like you can watercolor anywhere you want to go and not have a mess to contend with. So these are good times. And that would be a wonderful little gift to give to someone. It's like, you know, 10, 15 bucks for the Moleskine book, and then like 20 bucks for the watercolors. So it's a little $30 watercolor travel kit for somebody, and that would make a great present. Couple of art journals because they are some of my favorites and they're very versatile. I like art journaling, mixed media journaling, and my favorite mixed media journal book is the Delusions Journals. They sell them at Michael's. You can usually get, there's two sizes. This one is my one from 2015. It's the big one. It's like 11 something by, and like it's, you know, like big puppy. And you can get this one, you like use this one for, like the paper is super sturdy. It's like a cardstock pocket inside that you could store things in. Very heavy duty, very sturdy. And then you have a smaller version. This is 5x8. See, this is what the covers look like when you buy them. They're like craft kind of looking. You can paint on them. You can decorate them however you want. It comes with a similar envelope, and then inside you can, you know, do the same work. I actually use mine to do swatches of inks and pens and things like that. I haven't bothered to decorate the outside of this one, but I did go pretty hardcore decorating this one. I painted on it with acrylic paints, and then I watercolored on it, and I sealed it, and I did all sorts of stuff to this, and it was a lot of fun. They're great because the cardstock paper holds up to a lot of abuse. Like you can paint on it, you can stamp on it, you can collage on it, you can do all sorts. You could add so many layers. Like I've got pages in this book that are like just like literally covered in stamping and paints and Mod Podge things and just all sorts of shit. You can put a lot of crap on those. They're a lot of fun, and they work with a lot of different styles. I want to just say, like, look here, I want to give you something that you can really like do some work in, and that would be awesome. You know, that's my personal opinion. Again, I feel the same about sketchbooks as I do about a lot of other art supplies. Like, to me, I like to personally decide on my sketchbook because I get very picky about what I do. But those for art journaling are great. And then to like wrap this all up, going back to this idea of people into art being very picky and wanting things, you can't go wrong with giving someone a gift card for, say, some good places for gift cards for people who like art supplies. Can't go wrong with Blick, Blick.com. It's like Dick Blick. They do like every art supply you could think of. Jerry's Artorama is really awesome. Michael's would be good, you know, for certain things. Amazon, of course. Jet pens, which we talked about in the lettering video. Or if you have a local art supply store and the person you're getting the gift for is local, give them a gift certificate to the local art supply store. Local art supply stores are some of the best places to get art supplies, because generally speaking, they hire people who know what they're talking about. They know who the artists are in their community, and they get to know them on like a regular basis. Sometimes art supply stores offer discounts for professionals or for students. As much as I love going to Michael's and going to town, if I need art supplies, I will almost always be going to my locally owned art supply store over a different situation. So support those if they're in your area, because it's a great resource and I would hate to see more of them close. That was a tangent. If you have any suggestions of art things, or if you want certain things for Christmas or for whatever holiday and you have these things on your mind, like, oh, I want this, and I haven't mentioned it, let me know in the comments, because who knows, I might see something I want to put on my list. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time.